Okay, I was like, oh my god. Okay, so I'm like, it's probably negative because before it was negative, like 3 days ago it was negative, and now this one says positive. So I am pregnant. This time I was so scared. That's how I knew something was up. But I was trying to be like, oh, it's probably negative. Oh my god. I don't know what to tell them. Oh my god. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video is a little different because you just finished seeing me share a clip of what happened in February. We're now in March, and I'll explain why I'm sharing this video now. So you guys saw that I had shared a video, so not the most recent video, but the one before that, I believe, was when I was in a funk. I wasn't feeling well, was going through a lot, and I had put part 1. And that was because there was more going on around that time. I just didn't feel ready to share. It was just a lot to process. But so during that time of that video is when I had found out that I was pregnant. And you guys probably already know that I had shared also in that video that in 2018 I had my son Micah. Unfortunately, he passed away. And so yeah, this is where, anyway, fast forward, right? We're in 2022. When I had Micah and he passed away, I went on birth control. I wasn't ready to have my tubes tied because I didn't know if I wanted another baby, even though I wasn't thinking about that right now. I just didn't want to make any decisions yet. And so I had the IUD placed. And then in July of 2021, and I have a YouTube video on that, I had a laparoscopic surgery done on me because my IUD actually moved up past my uterus into my lower abdomen area. It was crazy. So that got removed in July of 2021. After that, I did not get on any birth control. The most birth control that I was on would be a condom, right? I know this is TMI, but most of the people that watch my videos are usually moms or mature people. So you understand, right? And I just didn't get pregnant, and it's fine because I don't think we were ready anyway. I also really didn't want to get on any birth control because of I just didn't want to deal with birth control. I never really had the best of reactions to birth control. So we were almost like, if it happens, let it be God's will, but we'll still try to protect ourselves, you know, the best we can. So fast forward to February. Guys, I was at that point 4 days late. 4 or 5 days late. And I had, when I was like a day late, because I hadn't been feeling well, when I was like 1 day late, I tested and it was negative. And so I was like, yeah, I'm not pregnant. And then the next day passed, and I was like, what is going on? Like, I do not feel well. I was having like symptoms. You know how it is. Like, even when you're going to get your menstrual period, like a lot of the symptoms that you feel during that time are similar sometimes to being pregnant. So I'm like, okay, am I going to get my period? Then I was like, I'm not even going to worry about it. But then on the 4th or 5th day, I think it was the 4th day that I was late, I'm like, I'm going to test one more time. I wasn't even thinking to record it. I do my thing, and then when I was waiting, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to record it because I'm so many days late at this point. You never know, but at the same time I wasn't thinking I was. So when I see that it says positive, I was like, what? And you guys saw my reaction. I was like shocked, but also like excited at the same time, because a baby's a blessing. Either way, I was just like, oh my gosh, I want to surprise Ruben, but I didn't surprise him. What I did was I left the bathroom and I just tell him, look, and I show him. And my daughter was in the living room, and we were like, what? And he was excited. And my daughter, who wants a baby brother or sister, was so excited. Then I called my son, and he's like in shock. He's like, another baby? He's 14. And so we were just all like, my husband was super excited. Like, he was just so happy. My daughter, even more. I was happy too, because a baby's a blessing. And nothing. I call my mom and everything, because I'm like a positive pregnancy test. Like, that I have never experienced it. If it's positive, right? I call my mom that same night. I text her, actually. I don't call her. I text her. She's in Florida that day. She was on vacation. And, I even text my my friend, and we end up talking, FaceTiming. I mean, we were just all like, wow. Because remember, guys, like, I literally lost a baby. So it was like, what type of reaction from everyone. So we go to sleep, and then the next morning, like around 6 o'clock in the morning, I wake up to like a pain in my stomach, and I feel like it's wet down there. So I get up and I rush to the bathroom, and when I sit on the toilet, there's blood. At this point, I'm like freaking out, but I'm trying to stay calm. And I like yell out to Ruben, but I'm trying not to wake everyone up. So I speak kind of loud, and he wakes up, and he's like, yes. And I'm like, come to the bathroom. And when he comes to the bathroom, I like tell him, and he's like, what does that mean? Like, we were just like, I immediately felt like a panic come over me. But I was trying to keep calm. I didn't understand. I just didn't understand what was going on. I didn't know if it was my menstrual period, but I just got a positive test. So I'm thinking the other part of it, which is a miscarriage. And I just was not ready for that at that moment. But either way, Ruben's like, well, do we need to go to the hospital? I'm like, yes, we should definitely go to the hospital. Just take me to the hospital, because I just want to know. Or to the emergency room. That was on a Sunday, actually. So I tested Saturday, and that happened Sunday. My mom's not around. It's super early in the morning. I put on a pad, and I call my friend, and I'm like, hey, I know it's super early. Do you think you could watch my daughter so I could go to the hospital, to the emergency room? And she's like, yeah. She's like, do you want me to just meet you there? That way you could just go straight there. I was like, that would be so awesome. So she meets me at the emergency room. We swap. My daughter goes in her car, and I go in. And guys, the craziest thing. They bring me into the room. They do blood work on me. That's all they did. Oh, yeah, and a urine. They didn't do ultrasound or anything. I don't know if that's supposed to be done. And I show them the video. I show them the picture, because I just did that the day before. And the nurse was like, it's very rare for a false positive. But just hold on, The results came back, guys, from my urine, and I was negative. And then when the blood work result came back, it didn't show that I was pregnant. It was like, they didn't know what else to say to me, right? And guys, I got my period. So I received a false positive, and I never experienced anything like that. I really didn't like the feeling of a loss And even though I got my menstrual period, I still felt, or I still feel like it was a loss, because that was so deceiving and my emotions went so high. All of us, we were so excited, we were so happy. Even though we weren't really planning on having another baby, we just weren't talking about that really, or planning on it. And then, but to see that, it was like having hope again and getting excited and just happiness, you know. I think a baby brings a joy, no matter how difficult, you know, being a parent can be sometimes. It's still a joy. And I think that on top of everything else I was feeling, I just was so down and so like over it, you know, overwhelmed, just everything I explained in the previous video. There's many reasons to have a false positive. It's not as common, but there is some. I'm actually gonna pull it up. Okay, so this is known as a false positive. A false positive might happen if you had a pregnancy loss soon after the fertilized egg attached to your uterine lining, or you take a pregnancy test too soon after taking a fertility drug that contains HCG. I mean, there's different things. So basically, like, a false positive can sometimes be a chemical pregnancy. And a chemical pregnancy occurs if a fertilized egg, known as an embryo, is unable to implant or grow very early on. Either way, to me, it just felt like a loss because of how seeing the positive to me meant that it was. And then finding out that I wasn't was like, how? So I wanted to share that with you guys because, and I did not want to record myself on the way to the emergency room. That was the least of my thoughts or my worries. Like, I didn't care to document that. I was like, I just was so like, I was in shock to see the positive pregnancy test, and in shock to see the blood. I was like, what? You know, what kind of craziness is this, you know? So yeah, guys, I mean, that is just a little bit of what I went through that time period. And like I said, it's like losing hope, but I am being optimistic. Like I said, I'm just keeping an open mind. I know things happen. You know, I believe that God allows things to happen for a reason. I believe that, you know, if I continue to surround myself with people who love me, who understand me, who support me, that I am going to be okay. And again, if I were to be pregnant, I learned my lesson. I'm not gonna share it immediately with my kids, especially my daughter, because she's only 4 and she is always asking for a sibling. I think I'm gonna just hold off, and I don't want to be afraid. I really don't want to be afraid. If I were to be pregnant, I wouldn't want to, I just don't want to walk in fear, if that makes any sense. Because God doesn't give us a spirit of fear. I want to just be in it and enjoy every second of it and enjoy every minute of it and then just enjoy the process. So if I were to ever be pregnant again, if that was something that, you know, happened, I don't want to be afraid. And I think that that's why I kind of just shared quickly with Ruben and shared with my kids and shared with my mom and my friends, because I want to be happy and excited about a pregnancy. And I understand that losses do happen. Even though you don't ever think it's going to happen to you, it could. And I'm not saying to not feel the feels, but all I'm saying is that if you ever get the opportunity again to be pregnant or have a child, however it is for you, whether it's adoption, foster, a surrogate, IVF, however it is for you, I think that we need to not walk in fear. The fear of that adoption not working out, or the documents not going through, or that IVF not working again, and many other things. I think that we need to not walk in fear, and we need to embrace the process and embrace the highs and lows of life and of motherhood, because I believe that you are a mom as soon as you find out you're pregnant. Like, it's not just when you have your baby in your hands, but I believe that you immediately feel a love for your baby. And I don't want to not enjoy that. And I wouldn't want anyone else to not enjoy that, because of the fear of losing that. Loss is hard, it's painful, it's something that I don't desire ever for anyone, right? And I also don't think that another baby will fill the void or fill the place of your other baby. It's just another opportunity to love and cherish and raise a baby, another blessing. But you're always going to love and you're always going to feel for your other child or your other pregnancy that was lost, or however it is. So guys, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I don't want to just bore you guys with all of my emotional stuff, but this is my part 2, and I am feeling better, and I just wanted to share, and I hope you guys are doing great. Thank you for always watching, always commenting, always liking my videos. You guys are awesome, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.